Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this second session of Cities in Shock, which is a cycle of meetings, a cycle of talks that we organized here at Metrolab.brussels. My name is Mathieu Berger, and I'm the coordinator of Metrolab.brussels. We are very glad to have you tonight for this evening. I'll be very brief. I don't have a lot of time, like 5 minutes maximum, because we want to keep proper timing for this session. So just a word about the background. We decided to start this cycle of conferences, Cities in Shock, in the wake of the Brussels attacks of March 22nd. A few days after these attacks, we read in the Belgian press that the municipalities of New York City, Paris and Brussels were willing to start an exchange of experiences about the experience of terrorist attacks. We figured it would be interesting to contribute to this effort from the universities, from research. So we got in touch with a few colleagues in Paris, in New York City, other parts of France and the US, and we proposed them to join this cycle of small events, a cycle which is opened, and there will be more sessions to come in September, October, and maybe even after. So we started these two first sessions in June. The first one was last week, actually, June 23rd, and the second one is tonight. All the sessions are recorded and the videos will be edited and uploaded soon on our website, which is almost ready. Our intention is also to produce a publication, maybe a small book on the basis of these presentations and interviews, sort of a slightly edited version of the transcripts of the talks. So the first session last week on June 23rd was titled Ecologies of Violence and featured presentations by Kamel Boukir, Johan Stavaux-de-Bauche, and an interview by Jack Katz. The purpose of this first session was to study the spatial and ecological dimensions of mass violence. And when we talked about mass violence, we didn't mean only terrorist attacks, but also other forms of hyper-violence, assaults, such as school shootings, for the example of the presentation of Jack Katz, but also situations or phenomena of urban riots, or the situations of beating up in street protests that were described by Kamel Boukir. Today, we will not focus anymore on the urban context or urban causes of mass violence. We will turn to the urban consequences and the urban traces of these terrible acts. To do this, we will have the chance to hear three distinguished speakers. I would like to thank you all three for responding to our invitation. And Robin Wagner is attending the evening through Skype from New York City. So hi, Robin. She cannot talk right now because we cut her microphone, but we will hear her later, hopefully. So, thank you, Sarah, Jérôme, Robin. We will start with Jérôme Truc. Jérôme is sociologist from École Nationale Supérieure Cachan, École Normale Supérieure de Cachan. And now we can say it, a research fellow at CNRS, so congratulations for that. And Jérôme titled his presentations, Patterns of Reaction to Terrorist Attacks in European Cities, and he will do this in French. Then we will have Sarah Gensburger. Sarah is already a research fellow at CNRS, and she did a very interesting work lately through a sort of a public sociology project with a blog. She will talk about this extensively later. So thank you, Sarah, for being here. And her presentation is titled A Memory Neighborhood, interrogation, Chronicles of the République Bataclan area since November 13. Then finally, not finally, but in third place, we will play a recorded interview that I had the chance to do with Robin Wagner-Pacifici. She's professor of sociology at the New School for Social Research in New York, and the author of various books, such as Discourse and Destruction, Theorizing Standoff, and a book to be released soon, which is titled What is an Event? And I forgot to say, of course, that the other works of Sarah and Jérôme will be presented on the website. I should mention now the very recent book of Jérôme, Sidération, une sociologie des attentats, which was released at Presse Universitaire de France earlier this year. So the presentation of Robin Wagner-Pacifici is entitled 9/11, Lower Manhattan as an Event Space. I'm sorry, I have to be very brief and short on the presentation of everybody, but I think they will present themselves better than I would. So we will play the interview, and then Robin will be able to take part in the discussion through Skype if the gods of internet connection are with us. Finally, we will have half an hour of discussion. We will, just before the discussion, we will take a very short break, like 2 minutes, in order to unplug and replug things in a way to have this conversation with Robin. In order to have the possibility for a proper discussion, I will kindly ask all of our speakers to stick to a 25-minute presentation. Thank you very much again to all three for your presence, Robin. And yeah, thank you, Jérôme. I just give you the microphone.